For this week's current event breakdown,
we asked Summer about new legislation that's pending.
There's a law that I'm fighting for right now. It's AB 379. And what it says is not just for the traffickers, but those criminal buyers who are buying kids and human beings. If they can afford to buy a human being, part of their sentence should always be that $1,000 should go into a fine bucket that is then redistributed to victims of human trafficking.
Isn't that too little?
It's too little, but believe it or not, they're fighting us on this small thing. It's not easy to pass laws in these days that go after criminals. Victims of crime in Sacramento are not getting the voice that they deserve.
Who's lobbying on behalf of criminals to fight $1,000? I don't understand.
crazy.
There's a lobby to legalize essentially prostitution, which is legalizing sex trafficking. A massive lobby
Who is
with a
supporting
ton
this?
of money.
That's insane.
It
What
is
normal person
insane.
would ever lobby for this?
Listen in to some of the arguments in Sacramento. It's really devastating. I go up there and I fight and fight. I issue press releases. Hopefully this one will pass. That's why it's balanced. We're trying to get in the door with $1,000, trying to build the fund to replenish our victims that need trauma services, shelter, and other things. Of course, we're also seeking higher punishments for people who buy 16 and 17-year-old. We want it to be a felony. It isn't a felony.
That's
currently.
crazy. So what can the citizens do to fight the lobbyists who are obviously sponsored by people who are profiting from this?
Victims don't have a well-financed lobby. They do not. What happens is they're victimized. They're trying to survive. They're not, gathering wealth and other things to support them. We bring our voice to it, but we're not the ones that are able then to support campaigns and other things that make the legislature sit up and pay attention. And it's not all of them. But unfortunately, there's enough where it's always an uphill battle.
When you prosecute criminals who are trafficking children or others, what happens to the money they launder as a result of this crime?
We go after the money, but amazingly, the traffickers are good at hiding the money. They also use the money to buy fancy things that disappear, like cars and other just ridiculous shoes. And so the money it's not like we find a ton of money in their bank account. It's spent on items and things. It's part of that terrible, frivolous lifestyle. That we do work with our federal partners. There's better federal laws on being able to seize assets and use them. So we try to work together on that. Our state laws are not as good in terms of seizing all of the assets and being able to use them.